first Indian American woman to be nominated as a vice presidential candidate in America.
I stand before you as the first candidate for Vice President of the United States of South Asian descent. When my mother, Shamala, stepped off the plane in California at 19 years old, she didn't have much in the way of belongings. But she carried with her lessons from back home. Growing up, my mother would take my sister, Maya, and me back to what was then called Madras, because she wanted us to understand where she had come from. Good morning. What an honor. No, we must stand with Israel.
Do you support reparations for black people?
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, which is why I support the United States commitment to provide Israel with $38 billion in military assistance over the next decade. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, I support full funding for Israel, including for the Arrow, David Sling, and the Iron Dome missile defense systems, which save lives. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
All right, Shalom. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakak Badash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching His truth that's gone all around the earth, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Atazawam from the Great Millstone here in St. Louis, and I'm back at it again with another short, another short lesson, and we got to see that little clip of K.A.M.A.L.A Harris, all right. And this lesson is going to be based on, as most everybody know, by this time that Joe Biden is bowed out, and here she's the leading candidate for the so-called presidency. And what you're going to find out, as we get closer, and this really goes out to those who still believe in the whole two-party system and your ancestors going to the polls and all of this kind of shit. Okay, this is not your rest. This is not your home. And in particular to the so-called black woman who has demonstrated and shown so much support for this woman. Okay, and it goes to show you that she doesn't care about you, right? But you think just because she is a woman that somehow, she's going to represent you, okay, and get you whatever you want, all right, through the legislation, all right, and different policies that will be structured, okay, and just women being prideful, okay, thinking that her stepping up, right, or being nominated or running for that office means a big deal for so-called black women. Well, she already told you basically she's not a quote-unquote black woman. But she is a woman nonetheless. Now, two sides of that story is, well, as far as I can find, all right, she claims to be Indian, right, from the East Indies, but her father is a Jamaican, right? And if he's a real, really a Jamaican, then he would be an Israelite, and that's what make her an Israelite, right? So by default, she would be an Israelite, all right, according to her father. Now, I don't know her father's history, okay? But on the surface right now, you would say maybe she is an Israelite, but she does not recognize that, right? Because the powers that be also know what her history is, her relatives or her lineage, right? So what do? They promote the East Indian side, the matriarch side, right? Because they don't want any connection to be made to the Israelite side, if that makes sense to you. But you can dig deeper into it if you feel a need to do so. And I'm not going to make this lesson real long, but we're going to get into, the pact that the Negro woman has made with the serpent, okay? And we know that serpent here, as we read it in Genesis, is the spirit of a man, right? Coaxed Eve into going against her power, right? Which was really her man, Adam. Okay, and as that trickles down to modern days, this evil, wicked spirit has fallen on the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, all right, through Cain and then eventually through Esau and then his descendants, all right? That's how that goes. So let's get into it real quick. This is Genesis 3:1, and it reads, Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh, thy power had made, Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, all right, our power had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath Elohim said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, right? Our power has said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. Okay, and it goes on, and you can read the rest of that. But here she has that conversation, and eating of that garden is not talking about literal food, but the philosophies, okay, the idolatry of other nation, right, of things that take you away from your power, all right? And that's what this woman has done, all right, all throughout time. They made that ancient pact, and you see it in today's modern society, and you see it more now and prevalent now in this particular captivity. Why? Because this is the end. And so all wickedness has to show its face now, okay, if that makes sense to you, all right? We've been in various different captivities, but Babylon the Great is by far the worst. And so in that, you're going to see the worst of the worst of every wicked person that there is, right? Only the elect, only the righteous of the Lord, all right, will not fall into these other traps and snares and ideologies and philosophies and so on and so forth. At one time, yes, many followed all of these different things until what? Until we got to this perfect time of the Lord, where the Lord put the prophets on the earth, brought forth the correct and righteous teachers that we have, right? And the elect had begun to be sealed, right? Our minds were sealed with the names of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, which we learned from the apostles of Great Millstone, right? For us younger brothers, right? Talking about all of those from those that were not back there in the late 80s and early 90s, right? So anyway, when it comes to K.A.M.A.L.A. Harris, all right, she's a backbiting, lying, conniving woman, okay? And she's married to a small hatter. So you see in that clip, of course she's going to do everything she can for the small hatters, because those are the ones that are pulling the strings, all right? And they're the wicked and the evil, right, that is on this earth, okay? Now, we got those that are wicked of our own as well. But we know that this man's spirit, his soul, is not upright. And we find that here in Habakkuk 2. And let's just start at the top. It won't hurt. In verse 1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right. So when it was made plain upon the tables, it was what? Written in scripture, right? In this book. Okay. So all things had to happen throughout all these different captivities, all these different generations to get us to this point today. You see? Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end, see, because we're coming to the end now, right? It shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. behold his soul, right? And who is the his here, all right? This is Esau, Edom, the wicked of the earth. Pursuant to Job 9:24, the wicked is given into the hands of Salaki. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay? Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith, right? And that would be the elect in this day and time will live by faith. Okay? And this wicked has been revealed to be Esau, Edom, and chiefly the Amalekites, all right, which she's married to one. You see, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. You see, so when you look at the policies of this place over the last 200 years, with this man being in power here on this side of the earth, right? Setting up the fraudulent banking system, okay? Setting up interest banking, right? Loans, funding wars, so on and so forth. So many people have died by the hands of this wicked man. So much blood has been shed, right? By this man, okay? And Eve is just playing a part of it. Okay, let's go over here to Ecclesiasticus 12 and let's see here. Let's jump in. Let's jump in verse 10. And it reads, "Never trust thine enemy." Right? And these are words of wisdom. Okay? And today, who is your enemy if you're an Israelite? The so-called white man. Esau, Edom. Okay? Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself, verse 11, and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, and this is applying, obviously, as it says to a man, all right? But now you have what? You have women who operate like men, so it applies to these wicked women as well, all right? Those that will go against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. As the scriptures say, there are many antichrists, okay? Or many anti-Hamashiachs, all right? But these are these are the people who are enemies to this truth now, okay? And you can't trust these people, but yes, don't set a so-called white man by you as your best friend if you're an Israelite, because they will overthrow you. And that's what we're going to read, all right, as we go further. Verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, Salakia, at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh with wild beasts, right? Nobody's going to have sympathy when you play with a snake and you get bitten by one. Or you try to go out there and wrestle a bear and he maul your stupid ass to death. Okay? Nobody's going to pity you. And it's the same way when you're dealing with Esau, Edom, or those that are in league with him. Thus, i.e., you have the so-called black woman. Verse 14, so one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity, right? And these people, especially if you're an Israelite, okay, and going according to her lineage, her father's from Jamaica, right? So if he's really a Jamaican, right, he'd be a Benjaminite, he'd be an Israelite, right? I don't know how much further it goes back behind that. But for all practical intents purposes, you know, she would be an Israelite because she comes out of her father's lineage and not her mother, but she's claiming her mother's side. Okay? Going on, it says, for a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. Right? You know, these people are opportunists, right? And they'll do and say whatever it takes to get that seat, right? And then they're going to flip you the bird when you ask for something, all right? But in his heart, he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. And that's what goes on in the so-called political arena. Okay? They're going to pretend to help you, right? Because I know these dumb so-called black women, you're going to run to the polls and vote for this chick. Okay? Not understanding that you really, should beware of those that fight so hard to say that they're for you. You got to know that that's a trick. Okay? We'll read 17 again. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. Right? They're going to act like they don't even know you exist. All right? And that's what the whole Democratic Party has been about for the last 70 years. Okay? Now we're going to go over here to Deuteronomy 17, and we're going to read this. As you see here, it says administration of justice. Okay? And there's a particular point I want to get to, because there may be those that say, well, this is referring just to a man. Okay? All right? But you have to understand that these women are what? Masculine and acting like men and holding positions and offices just like men, right? Because this place is Babylon the Great, the land of total confusion. Deuteronomy 17:1, it reads, thou shalt not sacrifice unto the Lord Yahweh thy power with any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish or any evil favoredness, for that is an abomination unto the Lord thy power. If there be found among you within any of thy gates, which the Lord thy power give thee, man or woman, right, that hath wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy power, in transgressing his covenant, and hath gone and served other gods. So man or woman, right? And this is talking about administering justice, right? So a man or woman that is been found to be wicked. And every last one of them politicians were wicked, including K.A.M.A.L.A, okay? K.A.M.A.L.A Harris, okay? Which is where I wanted to get, all right, to show you that is covering, all right, both, as people like to say, genders, okay? If they be found among you within any of thy gates, which the Lord thy power giveth thee, man or woman that have wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy power, in transgressing his covenant, and have gone and served other gods, right? And that other gods is what? In so-called America, the eagle, the flag, and such, all right? They don't serve the true living power. And worship them, either the sun or moon or any of the hosts of heaven, which I have not commanded. And it be told thee, and thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing certain, that such abomination is wrought in Israel. Okay? So this is going into justice, and let's just jump down to get to it quickly. All right? This is verse 14. And it reads, when thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shalt possess it, and shalt dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy power shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Right, so this really is telling you have no business voting for people who are not of your nation. Okay? And all these years over here, Jake, quote unquote, fought for rights to vote, and people died over the whole situation. Well, you know what? They died in vain because you voted to put some slick talking, lying Edomite in office and put him and made him king over you. So you thought, because actually your vote doesn't count. Which is another subject for another time. All right. But these people are of the devil, whether they be of our own kind. Because we have an example here in John. Let's read it. All right. Doesn't matter, man or woman. Okay. John 8:36. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. I know that ye are Abraham's seed, and these are the Pharisees, right, coming up against Yahweh Shai. All right. And I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, because my word hath no place in you. I speak that which I have seen with my father, and ye do that which ye have seen with your father, which is the devil. Right? They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Yahweh Shai saith unto them, if ye are Abraham's children, ye would do the works of Abraham. But now ye seek to kill me, a man that hath told you the truth, which I have heard of Yahweh. This did not Abraham. Ye do the deeds of your father. Then say they to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one Father, even the Most High. Yahweh shall say unto them, if Yahweh were your father, ye would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from Yahweh. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me, right? Which goes to show you that they're two different entities, all right, for you wacky, crazy Christians out there. Verse 43, why do ye not understand my speech, even because ye cannot hear my word? Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. So he's speaking even to his own, because we have what? Some traitors and turncoats of Israel, right? Because they're all about status, popularity, right? Vain crowns upon their heads, okay? And so they serve the devil instead of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not. You see, and so the prophets of the Lord have told you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we've told you the truth, and you still believe in this man. And now they threw an old dumb woman in front of you, and now you're losing it over that and thinking somehow, okay, you're going to find your way to prosperity here in a nation that's going down the drain. This is Amos 9:8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, and today that sinful kingdom is Babylon the Great, a.k.a. USA. Okay? And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in the sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. And the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake or prevent us. Right. You got a lot of proud ass people who think just because they vote for a certain person that everything is going to be all right. How many times can they pull this trick on you? Okay? But see, those that fall into that same snare, you're the very same ones that will not listen to the prophets. And so therefore, you're going to be taken by the sword. You're going to die over here on this side. All right? Least ye repent, because the Lord has sent the Spirit out to start sifting Israel. All right? And you losers are going to lose big on this side. Let's get another scripture here. All right? Well, matter of fact, let's go over here to this. All right, this is her Wikipedia information, right? It says Kamala, I guess it's Devi Harris, okay, born October 20th, 1964. It says here, is an American politician and attorney who is the 49th and current Vice President of the United States since 2021 under President Joe Biden. She's the first female Vice President and the highest ranking female official in U.S. history, as well as the first what? They say African American, then it goes on and says, and first South Asian American Vice President. See, they had to throw that in there. A member of the Democratic Party, she served as a U.S. Senator from California from 2017 to 2021, and Attorney General of California from 2011 to 2017. Yeah, where she imprisoned over 2,000 Israelite men, right? And railroaded them into long sentences, okay? And if we go down here, and you can look into this on your own time just to get some information. You see here parents, and it says Donald J. Harris, right? And it says born August 23rd, 1938, is a Jamaican American economist and professor emeritus at Stanford University, known for applying post-Keynesian ideas to development economics. He's the father of Kamala Harris, Vice President of the United States, and Maya Harris, lawyer and political commentator. See, so they're all in that whole same realm, right, of trying to be elitist. Okay, and a person that considers themselves an elitist doesn't give a shit about the poor people. Okay, they care about the things of an elitist. All right. Now I wanted to go into something else here if I can find it. Slovakia. Let's go into family. See if it's in here. Slovakia. See, they give you some information and relatives on her mother's side, but nothing on her father's side. But here's her husband, if it'll open up. Douglas Craig Imhoff, right? Small hatter, hook nose. See? So her agenda is for those fake fraudulent people, as she said in that little piece, that little clip. Okay? Ecclesiasticus 9:11, and it simply reads, envy not the glory of a sinner. Yeah, you so-called black women, especially those of you who've gone to college and gotten your PhDs and you belong to the sisterhood, or AKA the sorority and all this nonsense, right? You look at that glory upon this woman's head as if she's somebody, okay? But as the scripture says, envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his or / her end, okay? So there you have it, all right? K.A.M.A.L.A Harris is no good for you, okay? You're going to get the same thing that you got from everybody else that said they was going to do something for you, right? And that in which it was nothing. You got a bag of empty promises that you still holding, all right? But the Israelites who know who they are and have repented, right? And we sit as the hopeful elect, you know, we know better, all right? You wicked 2/3 ass niggas who still trying to get something out of this life, you know, you're gonna be led to the slaughter, right? And that's the way it is, all right? Now, me personally, just speaking as a man, I don't think she's gonna get in office, all right? I think DJ Trump will be in there. That's just my own personal opinion. So with that, I'll end the lesson right there. All right. No need to go no further. Like I said, you look into it for yourself. You know, some of these things we see, you know, gives us an opportunity to bring out the scriptures, you know, for edification's sake, right? Helps put the pieces of the puzzle together for some brothers and sisters out there. All right. So I'll end the lesson right there. All right. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.